Welcome to Module 5. Today we explore the principle of polarity, a concept that sits at the very heart of both ancient wisdom and modern science. As the Kybalion states, everything is dual and everything has poles. Opposites are simply identical in nature but different in degree. Think of hot and cold. They are not two separate things but rather different degrees of the single phenomenon we call temperature. In this module, we will tackle three essential questions. First, are these truly the same principle operating at different scales of reality? Second, how do we identify the shared continuum between seemingly irreconcilable opposites in the physical world? And finally, is the concept of mental transmutation actually supported by the mechanics of modern physics? Our learning objectives for this module are ambitious and intellectually rigorous. We are moving beyond surface analogies into deep structural analysis. You will learn to explain core concepts like wave-particle duality and Einsteinian relativity at a level that enables meaningful philosophical inquiry. We will analyze proposed correspondences using our three-level framework to distinguish genuine isomorphisms from mere metaphors. Ultimately, you will synthesize these insights to articulate your own framework for the relationship between consciousness and the material world. Let us dive into the physics. The first correspondence we explore is wave-particle duality, the fundamental polarity of the quantum realm. Niels Bohr was so struck by this parallel that he adopted the yin-yang symbol for his coat of arms to represent complementarity. Next, we consider matter and antimatter. These are poles of the same phenomenon, existing as particle states with opposite charges. The deep mystery remains. Why does our universe contain so much more matter than antimatter? This is where the polarity appears slightly unbalanced. Think about electric charge and magnetic poles. You cannot isolate a magnetic monopole as both poles always appear together. Positive and negative charges are identical in nature but different in degree. They are simply extremes of the same electromagnetic pole. Even space and time are not separate. In Einstein's relativity, they are the two poles of a unified space-time continuum. What appears as space to one person can appear as time to another. They are dimensions of the same reality with different mathematical signs. Then we have the ultimate transmutation. Energy and matter are the same thing at different degrees of condensed expression. Nuclear physics routinely transmutes one into the other. It is the modern scientific equivalent of alchemical transformation. Bohr's complementarity principle teaches us that certain pairs of properties are not contradictions, but complementary aspects of one reality. This maps directly onto the Hermetic teaching that all truths are but half-truths, and every paradox may eventually be reconciled. Finally, we look at the vacuum plenum polarity. Even empty space is actually full of quantum fluctuations and zero-point energy. Nothing and everything are the two poles of the vacuum state. At the extreme of emptiness, we find absolute fullness. If this sounds like a lot to process, don't worry. Even the smartest physicists have to take a nap after thinking about these things. We are bridging two worlds that usually don't talk to each other. It is bound to get a little bit weird before it gets clear. But we must remain rigorous. Module 5 also includes a critical analysis of where these correspondences might actually break down. For example, physical polarity is often quantized into discrete values, while Hermetic polarity is presented as a smooth continuum. We must also ask if there is a demonstrated physical mechanism for transmuting mental qualities like love into hate by degree. We avoid turning polarity into a thought-terminating cliché. Differences are real and they matter in both physics and philosophy. By the end of this module, you will have a sophisticated understanding of how polarity functions as a fundamental law of the universe. You will be able to map these principles onto real-world scenarios and use them as practical tools for personal transformation. The journey into the heart of duality is not just an academic exercise. It is an invitation to see the world in a new light. Prepare to challenge your assumptions and expand your mental horizons as we step into the principle of polarity together. Open your module materials and let us begin. The secrets of the poles are waiting for those with the ears to hear. And remember, if you find yourself polarized by the complexity, just move slightly along the pole toward clarity. It is that simple. Almost. The great work. Your path to mastery continues here.